I was driving down the familiar highway toward my parents' house, watching the Texas sunset paint the sky orange and gold. It had been almost a year since I had been home for Thanksgiving, and I could not wait to see everyone. My trunk was full of gifts, a new coffee maker for Mom, some tools for Dad, and this warm feeling in my chest that maybe this year would be different. But when I pulled into the driveway and walked up to that front door, my dad stood there blocking the entrance and said words I will never forget. "We don't want to see your face. Before I tell you how I got shut out of my own family on Thanksgiving, let me know where you are watching from, and please hit that like button and subscribe. Because what happened next that night changed everything, and you will not believe how this turned around." I grew up in a small town outside of Dallas, the kind of place where everyone knows your name and your business. My dad, Frank, worked as a plumber for 30 years. Honest work, he always said. My mom, Linda, taught third grade at the local elementary school. She had this gentle way about her, always patient, always kind. Then there was my older brother, Justin. He was 3 years older than me, and growing up he was the golden child. First son, first grandchild, first everything. I learned early on that I would always be second in line. Do not get me wrong, I loved my brother. We played football in the backyard, shared a room until I was 12, did all the things brothers do. But somewhere along the way, things shifted. I started doing well in school. Really well. I got straight A's, joined the debate team, earned a full scholarship to the University of Texas. My parents were proud, sure, but I could see it in Justin's eyes. That look, like I had taken something from him. He had barely graduated high school, tried community college for a semester, then dropped out. He bounced around from job to job, never really finding his footing. After college, I landed a position at a tech company in Austin. It was not anything fancy at first, just an entry-level project coordinator role. But I worked hard, stayed late, learned everything I could. 2 years later, they promoted me to project manager. The pay was good, better than good. I bought a small apartment in downtown Austin, nothing extravagant, but it was mine. And I started sending money home every month. $500. Just to help out. Dad's truck was getting old. Mom mentioned the roof needed repairs, so I figured it was the least I could do. But Justin knew. Somehow he always knew. Every time I came home to visit, he would make these little comments. "Oh, look who decided to grace us with his presence. Mr. Big Shot from Austin." At first I laughed it off. Brothers tease each other, right? But the comments got sharper, more bitter. I could feel the distance growing between us like a canyon I could not cross. 2 months before Thanksgiving, I called home like I did every Sunday. Mom answered, but her voice sounded strained. She asked about work, about the weather, but kept the conversation short. Only 10 minutes. Usually we talked for at least half an hour. I asked if everything was okay. She said yes, just busy with school. When I asked to talk to Dad, he got on the line for maybe 3 minutes. Said he was watching the game. Hung up quick. I texted Justin later that night. "Hey man, everything good at home, delivered. Read." No response. I sent another message the next day. Just checking in. Nothing. For 2 weeks I tried to reach him. Every message left unread. Every call went to voicemail. Something was off, but I told myself everyone gets busy. Life happens. 1 week before Thanksgiving, I called Mom to confirm. "Hey, I am planning to drive down Thursday morning. Is that still good?" There was this pause. This long, uncomfortable silence. Then she said yes. "Come on down." But her voice had no warmth in it. No excitement. I should have known then. I should have asked more questions. But I wanted to believe everything was fine. I spent that week shopping for gifts. Mom had mentioned months ago that their coffee maker was acting up, so I bought her a nice one. Not too expensive, but reliable. For Dad, I got a complete socket wrench set. His old tools were falling apart, and I knew he would appreciate it. I even got Justin a gift card to his favorite sports store. Maybe I could not fix whatever was wrong between us, but I could try. Thursday morning, I woke up at 6 in the morning and loaded everything into my car. The drive from Austin to my hometown takes about 3 hours, and I spent most of it thinking about what I would say to Justin. Maybe we could talk, clear the air, figure out why he had been avoiding me. I turned up the radio and sang along to old country songs, trying to shake off the nervous feeling in my stomach. I pulled into the driveway at 5 in the evening. The sun was starting to set, and I could see the warm glow of lights through the windows. I heard voices inside, laughter, the sound of family. It smelled like Thanksgiving, that unmistakable scent of roasted turkey stuffing and pumpkin pie. For a moment, standing there with my bags of gifts, I felt like a kid again. Excited, hopeful. I walked up the porch steps and knocked on the door. I could have just walked in. I used to live here, but it felt right to knock, to announce myself. I heard footsteps approaching, heavy footsteps, Dad's footsteps. The door opened, and there he was. But the man looking back at me was not the father I knew. His face was hard, cold. His jaw was set tight, and his eyes, those eyes that used to light up when he saw me, were flat and distant. "We don't want to see your face." The words hit me like a physical blow. I actually took a step back. My mouth opened, but no sound came out. I was still processing what he said when I looked past him into the house. There, standing by the dining table, was Justin, and he was smiling. Not a friendly smile, a satisfied smile, like he had won something. "Dad, what are you talking about?" I finally managed to say. "What did I do?" "You know exactly what you did. Justin told us everything." My mind was racing. Told them what I looked at. Justin again, then at Mom, who was standing in the background. She would not look at me. She just stared at the floor, her hands twisted together. "Told you what I asked," my voice rising. "I have no idea what you are talking about." Dad shook his head like I had disappointed him beyond words. "Just leave. You are not welcome here." I felt my chest tighten. This could not be real. This had to be some kind of mistake. "Can someone please tell me what is going on?" Mom finally spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. "Justin said you have been talking bad about us to your friends in Austin." She looked up at me then, and I saw tears in her eyes. "He showed us messages where you called us backwards and embarrassing." The world tilted. "What? That is not true?" I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "I never said anything like that. I would never say anything like that." Dad crossed his arms. "Why would your brother lie?" I looked at Justin, really looked at him, and I saw it. The smug expression, the way he stood there so confident. He had planned this. Somehow he had faked messages, made up stories, poisoned my parents against me. And they believed him. "This is insane," I said. "You are believing him without even asking me for my side." "We saw the messages, Ross." Dad's voice was final. "There is nothing more to discuss." I stood there holding my bags of gifts, feeling like an idiot. Like the biggest fool in the world. I had driven 3 hours. I had bought presents. I had been excited to see my family. And now I was being turned away at the door like a stranger. I could have argued. I could have pushed past him and demanded to see these so-called messages. But something in me just shut down. If they were willing to believe Justin that easily, if they did not even want to hear my side, then what was the point? I looked at Justin one more time. He raised his eyebrows at me, that smile still on his face. I looked at Mom, who turned away. I looked at Dad, who started to close the door. And I smiled. Not a happy smile. A sad, tired smile. The kind of smile you give when you realize you have been fighting a battle you can never win. I turned around, walked back to my car, and set the bags of gifts down on the porch. I did not slam the door. I did not yell. I just got in my car, started the engine, and drove away. In my rearview mirror, I saw Dad pick up the bags and carry them inside. The door closed, and I was alone. The drive back to Austin was the longest 3 hours of my life. I did not cry. I did not scream. I just drove in complete silence, my hands gripping the steering wheel, watching the highway lights blur past. My mind kept replaying the scene. Dad's face, Justin's smile, Mom's tears. "We don't want to see your face." Over and over. I thought about every phone call home, every check I had sent, every time I had rearranged my schedule to make it back for a birthday or holiday. I thought about all the times I had covered for Justin when he messed up, all the times I had bitten my tongue when he made those cutting remarks. And this was what I got. Shut out. Rejected. based on lies. I got home around 8:30 that night. My apartment felt empty, hollow. I heated up a frozen dinner and sat on my couch staring at the TV without really seeing it. My phone sat on the coffee table silent. Good. I did not want to talk to anyone. Then at 10 o'clock it started. My phone lit up. Mom calling. I stared at the screen until it went to voicemail. 30 seconds later she called again. And again. I counted 5 calls from Mom in 10 minutes. Then Dad started calling. 3 calls. Then Justin. 2 calls. I rejected every single one. The texts started pouring in. Ross, pick up. We need to talk. This is urgent. Ross, please. Your brother is in trouble. Call us back. I read each message, but I did not respond. What could they possibly want now? To tell me I was wrong again. To twist the knife a little more, I turned off my notifications and went to bed. But I did not sleep. I just lay there staring at the ceiling, feeling numb. When I woke up the next morning, my phone showed 15 missed calls and 23 text messages. The most recent one from Mom said, "Ross, we are sorry. Please call back. Your brother is at the hospital. He got in a car accident last night." For a moment, my heart stopped. Hospital. Accident. My first instinct was worry. Then I remembered everything that had happened, and the anger came rushing back. But he was still my brother, despite everything. I waited until noon to call back. When Mom answered, she was crying. "Ross," she sobbed. "Ross, thank God. Justin is okay. He broke his arm and has some cuts, but he is okay." "What happened?" I asked, keeping my voice neutral. She took a shaky breath. "After you left, we had the family over for dinner. Your Aunt Susan, your Uncle Ray, the cousins. Everything was fine until Justin started drinking. He had a few beers, then a few more, and he started getting loud, talking about how you thought you were better than us, how you were always judging him. I did not say anything. I just listened. Aunt Susan asked him what he meant. Mom continued. "And Justin, he was so drunk, Ross. He started rambling. He said he had to teach you a lesson. He said he made up those messages. He said he edited screenshots to make it look like you said terrible things about us." My stomach dropped. "So you know." "Yes," Mom whispered. "We know." Susan made him show her his phone right there in front of everyone. We saw the app he used to fake the screenshots. "Ross, we are so sorry. We should have believed you. We should have asked you first. Your father and I, we are just so ashamed." I closed my eyes. What about Justin? After the truth came out, he ran out of the house. He was drunk, Ross. He should not have been driving. He crashed into a fence about 2 miles down the road. The police came. They arrested him for DUI. He is at County General now. They are releasing him later today, but there are going to be legal consequences. I drove back to my hometown for the second time in 24 hours. This time there was no excitement, no hope, just a grim determination to face this head on. I went straight to the hospital and found my family in the waiting room. Mom and Dad looked like they had aged 10 years overnight. Their faces were drawn eyes red from crying. When they saw me, Mom rushed over and hugged me. I stood there with my arms at my sides, not hugging back. Dad approached slowly, his hands in his pockets. "Son, I am sorry. I am so sorry. Can we talk outside?" I asked. We walked out to a quiet hallway away from the waiting room. Mom started crying again. "Ross, please forgive us. We were so wrong. We should never have believed Justin without talking to you first. We did not think he would lie about something like that." I looked at my dad. "Why did you believe him without even asking me?" Dad's shoulders sagged. "I don't know. I guess I thought you had changed, that the city had changed you. Justin kept saying you looked down on us, and I started believing it. I started seeing things that were not there. You chose to believe him because it was easier than facing the truth," I said. "The truth that Justin has been jealous of me for years. The truth that he has been making my life difficult every chance he gets. You chose to believe him because you did not want to deal with the real problem." "That is not fair," Mom said. "Is it not?" I asked. "When was the last time you stood up for me? When was the last time you told Justin to stop with the mean comments? You let him treat me like I am the enemy, and now you are surprised he took it this far." They did not have an answer. We stood there in that hallway, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, and I realized something. I had been waiting my whole life for my parents to choose me, to see me, to believe in me the way they believed in Justin. And they never would. Not really. Because in their eyes, I was the one who got out. I was the one who succeeded. And that made me the outsider. "I forgive you," I finally said. "But things cannot go back to the way they were." "What do you mean?" Dad asked. "I mean, I am not going to keep trying to earn your approval. I am not going to keep sending money every month so you can pretend everything is fine. I am not going to show up to every holiday and smile through Justin's insults. I will stay in touch. I will call on birthdays. But I am done trying to be the son you want me to be." "Ross, please," Mom pleaded. "I am not trying to punish you," I said gently. "I am trying to protect myself. You have to understand that." Justin was released from the hospital that afternoon. I saw him briefly as they were discharging him. He had a cast on his left arm and a bandage on his forehead. When he saw me, he looked away. I walked over to his bed. He flinched like he thought I was going to hit him. I was not. I just needed to say one thing. "I forgive you too," I told him. "But I will never forget this." He nodded, tears streaming down his face. "I am sorry, Ross. I am so sorry. I was just so jealous. Seeing you succeed while I kept failing, it ate me up inside. I know that is no excuse. I know I messed up." "You did more than mess up," I said. "You tried to destroy my relationship with our parents. You lied. You manipulated. And you almost succeeded. I hope you get help, Justin. I really do. But I cannot be around you anymore." I walked out of that hospital room and did not look back. The months after that Thanksgiving were hard. I threw myself into work, taking on extra projects, staying at the office until late. I did not want to think about my family. I did not want to feel the hurt. But slowly, very slowly, I started to heal. I joined a hiking group in Austin and met people who did not know anything about my past. People who liked me for who I was not, for what I could do for them. I started going to therapy, talking through the years of feeling second best, of trying so hard to be good enough. My therapist helped me see that I had been carrying a weight that was never mine to carry. Mom and Dad called occasionally. The conversations were polite but distant. They asked about work. I asked about their health. We did not talk about Justin much. I heard through Aunt Susan that he had gone to rehab, that he was working on himself. I was glad for him, but I kept my distance. About 6 months after everything happened, I started dating someone. Her name was Kelsey, and she worked as a nurse at a children's hospital. She was kind and funny, and had no patience for drama. When I told her about my family, she listened without judgment. When I admitted I still felt guilty about pulling away, she held my hand and said, "You are allowed to protect your peace. Family does not get a free pass to hurt you." That summer, I bought a house. Just a small 2-bedroom place with a yard, but it was mine. My own space. My own sanctuary. I sent a photo to my parents. Mom texted back congratulations. Dad sent a thumbs-up emoji. It was not much, but it was something. In September, almost a year after that terrible Thanksgiving, I drove home for Mom's birthday. I did not tell anyone I was coming. I just showed up at the door with flowers. When Mom opened the door, her face lit up. "Ross," she said, her voice breaking. "You came." "I came," I said. "Just for a few hours." The house felt different. Smaller somehow. Or maybe I had just grown. Dad shook my hand, awkward and formal. Justin was not there. Mom said he had moved to Houston for a new job, that he was doing better. I was happy for him. Really. We had lunch together. Mom made my favorite chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes. We talked about safe topics. Work, weather, the neighbors. It was not warm, but it was not hostile either. When I got up to leave, Mom hugged me tight. "I am so proud of you, Ross," she whispered. "I know I have not said it enough, but I am proud of the man you have become." "Thanks, Mom," I said. And I meant it. Driving back to Austin that afternoon, I thought about forgiveness. Real forgiveness. Not the kind where you pretend nothing happened, but the kind where you acknowledge the hurt and choose to move forward anyway. I forgave my parents not because they deserved it, but because I deserved peace. I forgave Justin not because what he did was okay, but because holding on to anger was only hurting me. But forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It does not mean going back to the way things were. It means accepting what happened and deciding that it will not define you. It means setting boundaries and protecting your heart while still leaving the door open just a crack in case someday things change. That Thanksgiving taught me something I wish I had learned sooner. Family is not just about blood. It is not about who you share DNA with or who raised you. Family is about respect, trust, and love. And if those things are missing, it is okay to walk away. It is okay to build your own peace, to find your own people, to create your own definition of home. I still think about that moment sometimes. Standing on my parents' porch, my dad blocking the door, Justin smiling behind him. I think about how I smiled and walked away. At the time, I thought I was giving up. But now I know better. I was not giving up. I was choosing myself. And that was the bravest thing I could have done. Have you ever had to set boundaries with your own family? Have you ever walked away from people you loved because staying was hurting you? Let me know in the comments below. Your story might help someone else who is going through the same thing. And if this story touched you, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Share it with someone who needs to hear that it is okay to choose peace over pain. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it reminds you that your worth is not determined by how others treat you. You are valuable just as you are. Take care of yourself and remember, sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away with your head held high.